Hey everyone, welcome back to another Scouring of the Sands Age of Fantasy campaign here on the Warbossfitz channel. This week, our two Warmasters have decided that they don't want to fight. So the human army is still holed up in the human capital behind the mountain range, refitting and reinforcing, while the havoc forces move around the desert unopposed. Last week I put out an update for the campaign rules. I reduced the lethality a small bit, so if units fall in a game, there is a little bit better chance of them coming back. Also, what I did is I rewrote some new rules for 10mm, because I'm seeing lots of games come in that are already 10mm, and it's a popular scale. I just figured I'd include that in the campaign as well. So what we're going to do this episode, the Havoc forces are trying to expand to the other side of the mountain range next to their capital. Pushing into the dense woods on that side of the mountain, they are going to be met by some wood elf defenders. In order to play in the 10mm, you're going to have to switch your rule set over to Age of Fantasy regiments. Once you're inside the Army Forge for regiments, you go over to the community book section. Now there are quite a few different 10mm army books already on there. Feel free to choose one of those. What I'm taking is I'm taking the official army books, converting them over to 10mm, and making sure that they stay balanced using the Army Forge internal balance mechanism. In order to find the army list that I'm doing, you just type in WF for Warbossfitz inside the search box. I have 4 armies up so far. I will do all the official books, and maybe some more little add-ons here and there. So what I'm going to use this battle for is a plot point in the campaign. If the Havoc forces win this, they will get a boost. I'm also going to use this as an explanation on how to run the 10mm army books. So what you're seeing in front of you right now is a roughly 3,000 point wood elf army using the WF 10mm wood elves army list. Now this army is multi-based because I was using it for 10mm Kings of War. But that basing system will work for what we're doing here because, like say on these tree men, we have what is the equivalent of 2 bases on 1 base. Where Warmaster is normally 2 ranks to a base. Here I've got 4 ranks to a base, so this will count as 2 bases. So it'll be 2, 4, 6. And the way the infantry comes in the 10mm rules, they come in groups of 3. So this is going to be a combined group of tree men here. And then also in the 10mm rules, I allow you to combine the regiments twice. That's why we have a huge Eternal Guardian block here. This is 3 combined to 6, which is then combined to 12. So this is all one huge block of infantry. My basing is a little off on the cavalry, like on these Forest Riders. This is the equivalent of what would be 5 bases, but we're going to use it for 6. The same here with the Deer Brothers. And here with the Forest Guard, it's going to be 2 groups of 6. It is the same basing scheme I have here on the cavalry. So just imagine there's one more strip right there. So 2 groups of 6 of those. Then in the back we have 2 single entity heroes on dragons. And then you're also able to group up the single entity stuff. So we have 3 tree giants as 1 unit. So we're going to see how these are going to do defending against the Havoc forces. Now for the forces of Havoc. Inside the Havoc army list, I have put an option to where you can dedicate some of the units to one of the Havoc gods. In this case, starting off here with our hounds, we have a 12 block unit of hounds that are dedicated to the war god, so they have frenzy. Then we have a 12 block of Havoc warriors, 2 6 blocks of Havoc warriors, a 6 block of Havoc trolls, 3 chariots that are dedicated to the god of lust, so they have overdrive and speed boost. We then have 10 knights, 3 more chariots, just generic chariots. We have 3 demonic guard cavalry, those are dedicated to the war god for frenzy. 3 vortex beasts, and then we have 2 6 blocks that are dedicated to the god of change, so they get stealth and warp fire. Now for this battle, I am going to be using the dice box, and I'm going to be talking through all of the actions and the dice rolls. That way it'll be more of a primer on how to do 10mm games using the Age of Fantasy regiment rules. So this is our board that we're going to be fighting over. There are 2 objectives buried in the deep woods, as you can see. Those are going to be wagons full of flammable barrels. The Havoc forces want to burn out this part of the forest so that they can use it for their own dastardly deeds. And here's the deployment of the 2 armies. Now, if you added the points up, you could tell that the Havoc forces do have more on their army list. They're about 1,000 points more than the Wood Elves. But those green spots that are on the board, those are forested areas, which means it is going to be difficult terrain for the Havoc forces. The entirety of the Wood Elf army have Striders. So this is going to balance that out a little bit, but I did want to have the Havoc forces have an advantage in this fight. The Grot is trying to repair. The Grot is... Yes, you're using... Okay, temporary repair. We're using sticks until we can get concrete to fill the hole. Or shove a bottle. There you go. God, man, you're a bona fide contractor. Fill it with an empty bottle.
After you turn it flat.
Oh, good Lord. You are definitely a Grot, and I love it. So the game is going to be going for 6 turns, and there are 2 objectives on the board. Whoever controls more at the end of the game wins. We're going to roll to see who goes first. Havoc gets a 3, and the Wood Elves get a 5. Wood Elves go first. So I have a feeling turn 1 it's just going to be a whole bunch of moving, so I am going to bring you guys back when everything is moved or until something fun happens. So I have gone through, moved everything, but there are going to be some shooting attacks. I have numbers on the board that tell me in what order things are going to happen. So we're going to start off here with number 1. Our demons with the warp flames are going to be shooting into the Eternal Guardians inside the woods. And whenever I do this, a lot of people ask me, what scale do you use for measurement on stuff? And whenever I run things in 10 millimeter, I just run the regular measurements on everything. So these guys here are going to have an 18-inch range on the board. So let's get to shooting. So this demon unit is going to hit on a 4. Every one of the stands gets 3 attacks each, and there are 6 stands, so it'll be 18 shots. Ooh, as I missed with one of them. So we ended up with 7 hits out of all that. Now this Eternal Guardian unit, they have a hero buried inside of it. The hero is the one that's going to be leading that regiment. He has a skill that gives a +2 to their armor save whenever they're inside cover. And since they are in the woods and the demons are throwing it through some woods, they're going to have cover. So it's going to be +2 to their save. So they normally save on a 5, but because of the +2, they're going to be saving on a 3. And they've lost 2. So all of our bases inside this regiment, which would be this size here, since I have these on multi-based things, have 3 wounds. So in this case, it'd be this back corner here loses 2 wounds, so they're down to 1. Now these multi-based things, it's going to be hard for me to pull off casualties as we go. You'll see it better in the Havoc Warriors as they start losing stuff, but I'm going to keep track of it like this. This one, the back corner has 1 wound left. It'll work out. Now our second shooting activation is this unit of Wood Elves with their longbows are going to be firing into the Hound Regiment. Now where our Wood Elves armed with spears are Eternal Guardians, the Wood Elves armed with the longbows are called Eternal Guard. That doesn't get confusing at all. So again, it's going to be 3 shots apiece with their ranged weapons, 18 shots with longbows. They normally hit on a 4. But because they are inside cover, they have the hero with them that gives them +1 to hit whenever they're in cover. So they're going to be hitting on a 3. So that's 10 hits. The Hounds are going to save on a 5. So it'll be 6 dead Hounds. So I said 6 dead Hounds, but what I really meant is it only took 6 wounds. So it'll be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The next activation is going to be this unit of warp fire throwing demons. They are going to fire at our unit of tree giants right there. Same thing as before, 6 stands, 18 shots, hitting on a 5. 6 hits. That little yellow dice, that was a stowaway. It wasn't supposed to be in my hand. Now the tree giants have a 3-up save, but because they are in cover, they just get the natural +1 to defense from cover, so they save on a 2. And it's going to be 2 that go through, And this weapon has the warp ability, so that means they're going to take 4 wounds total. And these are big beefy things, so that means one of them goes down to 8 wounds from 12. And then the last shooting activation of this turn, this unit of Eternal Guard here is going to fire at that unit of Lust God-inspired chariots. So once again, 18 shots that are going to be hitting on a 3 because they're standing in the woods. And then our chariots save on the 3. Oh, we got one cocked. So it'll be 3 wounds to go through. So chariots only have 3 wounds apiece. If that sounds low, think of it like this one chariot is equal to about 5 horses. So that'll be 1 chariot gone. At the beginning of turn 2, the 2 wood elf dragons drop down behind this flank over here because I think they're going to need it more. So the first activation of turn 2 goes to the wood elves. So we are going to have this dragon slam into the back of that regiment of Chaos Warriors. So for the Wood Elf Dragon, the first thing it's going to use is its breath attack. These automatically hit at AP 1, so the Havoc Warriors have to save up for 3, look for a 4. They fail 2. Now we have the hero who's riding it, has the lance. He hits on a 3. We got 2 hits. It's a heavy lance, so that means it turns into AP3 when he charges, looking for a 6. Fails 2 more. And then between the claws and the stomps of the dragon, they're all AP1, so I add them together. 10 attacks, hitting on a 3. And then saving on a 4. So that's going to be 7 total wounds to the Havoc Warriors. So for the Havoc Warriors, that's going to be 1, 2, 3. Ooh, if I can pick them up. 4, 5, 6. And then 7. I'll put it on there, but they do need a morale test because they lost in combat. They're going to pass. Now, the reason why they didn't fight back is in Age of Fantasy regiments, you can only attack what's in your front arc. So getting flanked or getting hit in the rear is devastating. You're not allowed to fight back. So for the Havoc's first activation, we are going to have this squad of our demonic cavalry here. They are going to charge into the trees because with the fast rule, they are able to go 8 inches. Ooh, if I can pick them up. That's the thing, too. If you're going to do this in 10mm regiments, you might want to invest in some movement trays. Just a piece of plastic to put underneath it is just fine enough. So impact 3 from those knights hitting on a 2. We got 3 hits. Saving on a 3. Oh, we got 2 wounds to go through. These knights have frenzy, so that means they have furious, which means if they roll a 6, they're going to get +1 to hit. They have charged, so they're +1 AP. The weapons are already rending at AP1, and they hit on a 3. So we got 1, 6. What that's going to do is this is going to be a rending hit. It's going to add another hit to the pool. Rending hit, looking for a 6, fail. And then all these are AP2, looking for a 5 to save. They take 2 more for 5 wounds total. So this one tree is going to be down to 3 wounds. Now it's the tree's turn to attack back. So with their big branch claws, it is going to be 6 attacks apiece, hitting on a 3. Then those attacks saving on a 5. And then there's stomps hitting on a 3 and saving on a 4. So at 11 wounds total, that's going to be the end of the demonic knight cavalry. Over on this opposite flank, our dear brothers are going to bang right into the front there. So for Age of Fantasy regiments, all the combat's only done in the first 2 ranks. So in this case, since we have 6 models in one squad and 6 models in the other, everybody gets to fight, everybody gets their impact hit. So we're going to do impact hit for the dear brothers because they're the ones that initiated the charge. And they're going to be all 6 hits. So saves for the Havoc Knights on a 3. They're going to take 2 wounds. And then because there are 6 bases, they each have 3 lance hits apiece, hitting on a 3. And since they are lances with the lance rule, it's going to be AP2, so saving on a 5. So they ended up with 13 wounds caused, so it'll be 3 bases for 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Now they get to fight back. So we have 2 bases left. That's going to be 6 attacks. They are using lances, but they didn't charge. They still hit on a 3. These are heavy lances, which are AP 1, but they did not charge. If they did charge, they would have been AP 3. But the Deer Brothers only save on a 5, so this means they gotta save on a 6. So they lose 3. Then the Deer Brothers definitely won combat, so the Havoc Knights have to roll a morale test, which they fail. So in the aftermath of all that, since these are multi-based, I can't pull a single one, so I'll just put a 3 mark behind this to let me know there are 3 wounds left in this. And then these guys take off running. Next activation for Havoc, we're going to have these 2 chariots turn, wheel, and smash into the side of the Eternal Guard right there. So it'll be 4 impact hits. All 4 hit. Then the Eternal Guardians are going to save that on a 5. They fail 3. Then they have 4 attacks. Hitting on a 3. These have Overload, which we don't get any of those. They are AP 2, so saving on a 6. They fail 4 more. So they did 7 more wounds. That means this whole back rank here is only going to have 3 wounds left. And because they can't fight back, the guy hitting the flank, they're going to fail their morale test. This whole group is pinned. Now, I've zoomed the camera out a little bit here to show you this is something that just happens in Age of Fantasy regiments. What I'm trying to do is to wheel this unit to hit this unit. So the unit wheels in place as it sticks to the thing and then moves to contact like this. So let's get closer. So now what you do is you find which side has the majority of your units, and right here we got 2 on this side and 1 on this side. So instead of pivoting to the flank, we pivot to the front and then maximize contact. So that's how that fight is going to go. It's going to be the Tree Men versus the Havoc Warriors. It's going to be 18 attacks from the Tree Men, and inside that unit is a Tree Man hero for an additional 3 attacks. The hero hits on a 3, 1 hit. The rest of the Tree Men hit on a 5. So we got 11 hits total at AP 1. We're looking for 4 for the Havoc Warriors to save. They only lose 4, which is just boop and boop. Now they get to fight back. So we got 18 attacks going back in, hitting on a 3. And it was only 18 attacks because the front 2 ranks can fight, and in this case it is the front 6 bases. So they got 3 attacks apiece, 18 attacks. So then the Tree Men, we got a lot of hits. I'm not even going to count it. They save on a 6. So the Tree Men lost 11 wounds. So we are multi-base here. So there goes 6. And then that group is down to 1. And that takes them below half. So morale test. They are going to pass because their hero has a quality of 3. Next demon turn, we're going to have this unit here pivot. And then they're going to move as far as they can onto that objective there. There we go. It's not impassable, it's just difficult. So they got to where they can get to, and then they're going to shoot at that unit there. So 18 shots hitting on a 4. And then our horses save on a 5. Little buggers cause 5 wounds, so that means that this multi-base here is down to 1 wound left. Next action for the Wood Elves, we're going to have our Eternal Guard are going to fire at those doggies over there. So again, +1 because they're in the woods. 18 shots hitting on a 3. Then saving on a 5. Because I missed the box. 6 more wounds to the Chaos Hounds. There'll be 2 bases. So then those dogs, they're going to do a 90-degree pivot, and they are going to head into the woods with the objective and end up right there. Now, because difficult terrain doesn't affect them, we're going to have that unit of horsemen pivot and then charge into these guys. I'll show you what it looks like. Kind of spastic, but something like that. So because we started off as a 6-base unit, one of the multi-bases is down to 1 wound left. That means there's only 4 horseman bases left. Impact hits. They all hit. Saving on a 5. 3 wounds so far. Then 12 attacks with lances, hitting on a 4. That was terrible, only 3 hits, and they save on a 6. So 3 more go down. So that was essentially 2 bases worth of demons, but now they get to fight back. So 4 bases left, 3 attacks apiece, 12 attacks hitting on a 4. And then saving on a 5. So those demons were able to pull off 7 wounds. There'll be 1 will finish off this whole stand here. And then it should be 2 stands there, but since we are multi-based, the whole thing only has 3 left. So then they get to do a morale test, and they stick around. Oh, that's not on. Yeah, that's on camera. The trolls over here are going to move forward. Now they can't. They could reach them if the trees weren't in the way. They're only going to go 6 to here, mostly to get away from that dragon that's behind them. Now that dragon, its opportunity for the trolls has been taken away. It is going to pivot, and it is going to be able to charge into the corner of those demons. First, it's going to start off with its breath attack, 3 hits that automatically hit. And it's going to kill off 2 wounds, or put 2 wounds on the demons. It's 3 lance attacks from the rider, hitting on a 3, 2 hits. Saving on a 6, 1 save. Then the 10 other attacks that are all AP 1, hitting on a 3, and saving on a 6. So that takes off 3 for those 9 wounds. And then we're going to need a morale test, which is a big thing because there's only half of the unit left. And that squad's going to run away. So yeah, that happened. That whole unit of demons is gone, and our dragon's just going to kind of look that way. The Havoc Warrior is going to take this unit of Havoc Warriors here. They're going to pivot and turn that direction, and they're going to end up there kind of building a wall for if this squad wants to swing around. Wood Elf turn, this squad is going to recover. Havoc Warrior turn, this squad is going to continue pushing into those guys there. So everyone in this fight has already fought, so they are all fatigued, so we're only going to hit on 6s. 2 hits, tree men are going to save on a 6, and they fail. Tree men fight back. 1 hit, AP 1, they lose a wound. So in that aftermath, this squad, this multi-base goes away. This squad goes down to 1. Ooh, I just saw it. 1 wound remaining. And then morale test. The tree men are sticking around. Next unit, those archers are going to fire into those chariots there. 18 shots hitting on a 3. Then the chariots save on a 3. Ooh, they're going to lose 4. So that's going to be 1, 2, 3. 4. Morale test for the lone chariot. It fails. It's out of here. Yoink. And what the death of that chariot has done has opened up this. At the time of regiments, that's what you got to do is you got to wait for a hole. So impact 2 on each of them. 6 impacts. They all hit. Saving on a 5. They take 5 wounds there. 6 attacks hitting on a 3. 3 hits, saving on a 6. They take 3 more. So it's not going to be half of the unit, but they do have to take a morale test for losing combat. And they're good this time. So that is going to leave this group up here having 7 left. This whole rank is going to go. Last activation for the Wood Elves. This unit is going to charge out and slam here. Now they are fatigued because they did fight already, but they have not fought. But they have not activated this turn. So this is going to be their activation. So if the tree giant's branches attacks, hitting on a 6. Only 1 hit, saving on a 6. It saves. Now all their stomp attacks, hitting on a 6. They all miss. Now the trolls have tons of attacks. They have 4 attacks for each stand, hitting on a 4. Only 8 hit at AP 1. We're looking for a 4 to save. That'll be 4 wounds for the tree giants. Morale test for them. They are good. So it's going to do 3 wounds there. And then this one takes a 1, so he's down to 11. The mutated beasts here are going to move up 6, and then they are going to fire their blast weapons over at those archers. So each of them have 2 attacks. It is a blast 3 weapon, so we're going to hit on a 4. 4 hits times 3, so 12 hits total. Because they're in the woods, it's +1 to save. There's no AP on this weapon. They're going to save on a 4. So it was 5 wounds, bringing this multi-base down to 1 wound left. And the last activation for the Havoc Warriors, this squad here is going to hold, and what they're going to do is they're going to pivot 180 degrees, because otherwise, even if they move, they're just going to get hit in the rear or the flank by that dragon again next turn. First activation of turn 3, our big unit here in the middle is going to wheel and charge into these chariots. We're going to get something out of these guys today. So 6 stands in the front 2 ranks, 18 attacks with spears. 9 hits, saving on 3. Oh, they all save. Time for the chariots to fight back, hitting on a 3. Oh, I missed with 2 of them. And saving on a 6. 3 dead spearmen. Morale test for the spears. They pass. The vortex beasts are going to move their 6 inches to there, and they are going to fire off their blasts again into the archers. 6 shots hitting on a 4. It was only 2 hits this time, saving on a 4. They only lose 1, but that's enough to take this standoff and force a morale test. They pass. Our tree men giant here are going to fight the trolls. They should do better this time because now they're hitting on a 3. Trolls are going to save on a 6. They failed everything, but they do have regeneration. So they lost 6, which is going to be these 2, and they get to fight back. So the trolls hit on a 4. Ooh, lots of 1s and 2s there. And it's AP 1, so the trees save on a 4. They lose 3. So that takes this guy from 11 down to 7. And then morale test for the trolls. They're going to pass. Because of the way charge works, these guys have to pivot first and then charge. And they're never going to reach those guys because they have to do boop, boop. So what we're going to do next is those demons in there are going to try to kill off those horses. And their shooting attack is stronger than their melee attack, so they're going to shoot them, hitting on a 4. Ooh. Wow, only 3 hits out of 16, saving on a 4. Well, they lose two horses. So morale test for the horses. They're going to fail. So in here, it's just going to be 1 stand with 1 wound to the left, but he is pinned. So this dragon over here that fought these guys from the rear last turn is going to fight them from the front this turn. Breath attack automatically hits. They save on a 4. They're going to lose 3. Lance hitting on a 3. Got 3 hits. It's a heavy lance, so it's AP 3. That means these guys are saving on a 6. They lose 3 more. The rest of the dragon's attacks all have the same AP, hitting on a 3. 5 hits, and the Havoc Warriors are saving on a 4. They lose another 3. So it was 9 wounds total, so we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And they are going to need a morale test. They fail. But first, oh, I forgot. Might as well do it right here. Their attack's back. They hit once. And the dragon fails. So it's going to take 1 wound. But either way, boop, they're gone. Havoc Warrior turn. These guys are just going to try to push right through those tree men again. 18 attacks, hitting on a 3. Saving on a 6. So that will be enough for them to push through, and then they're going to get their 3-inch. We just broke the enemy move. And put them, about there. There we go. So our second dragon is going to pivot, fly through all the underbrush and crap here. Land up there. He's going to attack those hounds. Breath attack, auto hit, saving on a 5. Saving on a 5. 3 fails. 3 lances. 1 hit, saving on a 6. Fails. 10 attacks with the rest of the weapons. 8 hits, saving on a 6. So we got 1, 2, 3. And then one guy is down to 2 wounds here. And they can't fight back because they were hit in the flank. Oh, come on, give me the number 2. So it's a morale test for the dogs, which they fail. Since they're below half, they're going to take off running. Now our archers here, they are going to fire into these pink demons over here. 18 shots hitting on a 3. It was 14 hits. They normally save on a 5, but because the archers are firing into another set of cover, they're going to get a +1 to their armor save, so they save on a 4. So they lose 3 wounds, which is be just 1 stand, and they need to take a morale test, which they pass. They're good. These chariots, they're going to rear back and attack again. So before they jump into combat, the guys in front get to attack because they have spears. And since we've all already fought, 18 attacks, hitting on a 6. 1 hit. Saving on a 3. Saves. Now because they had spears, that ignores the impact hit because now they're not hitting on the flank, they're hitting on the front. So 6 crew attack, hitting on a 6. 1 hit. One dead spearman. Morale test for the spears, they're going to fail. So that knocks them down to 3. There it is, 3, and they are pinned. Because the wood elf horsemen don't care about the woods, they're going to pivot, charge through these woods, and end up right there. So we got 4 impact hits hitting on a 2. They all hit, saving on a 3. Oh! 4-1, so 4 wounds. 12 attacks with lances on a 3. So that was 9 hits, AP 2 when they charged, so the Havoc Warriors are looking for 5. So it was 10 wounds went through, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Now their attack's back. 9 attacks hitting on a 3. Their attacks are AP 1, so saving on a 6. So they lose 4. So it'll be 1, 2, 3. Take this one off. We'll shift that one to there. 1 wound off of those 3 stands, so it'll be 8 left. Morale test for these guys. They pass. The trolls are going to activate, and they're going to try to slap those trees. I say that because they're fatigued. They're only going to hit on a 6. A couple 6s. Tree's going to save on a 4. Oh, the trees take 2. Trees attacking with their branches. We got 4 hits. Troll save on a 6. 1 save with regeneration. Okay, so 2 go through, and then the tree man stomps. 3 hits. Troll save on a 5. Hey, wow, we got 3 6s and 4 1s in the same turn. Wow. So the losses ended up 2-2, but the tree men with their fear added together. Where's the 5? Here it is. The tree men with their fear added together win combat, but the trolls pass their morale test. These archers in the back corner are going to fire at the vortex beasts. So they're down to 9 shots on a 3. Oh, all 9 hit. And the vortex beasts save on a 3. Ooh, they take 4 wounds. Means that one of these little guys is down to 2 wounds left. Last activation for the Havoc Warriors. These guys are going to try to push back. 9 attacks hitting on a 6. Because everyone's fatigued. 1 hit. Saving on a 6. Oh, he saves. Time for the Deer Brothers to fight back. 9 attacks on a 6. Nothing. So that's truly a tied combat because nothing happened in the last activation for the turn. Our Forest Riders, they're going to unpin. So I just did some math going into turn number 4. The Wood Elves started with 9 units on the board. They have 8 left. They're fine. The Havoc Warriors started with 12 regiments on the board, and they are down to 6. So they owe us an army morale test. And their army morale is a 3. They're good. Going into turn number 4. So looking at some numbers, what they're going to try to do is just smash everything they can around the objectives. First attack is going to be these warriors against the Deer Brothers. And attack's hitting on a 3. Deer Bros save on a 6. They lose 5. It means they are down to 1 stand left. Their attacks with their lances. We got 2 hits. It's only AP 1 when they don't charge. They save them both. Deer Brothers, they're going to stick around. Ooh, all that, and you are. Let's change that dice out. Down to just 3 wounds left. Our dragon over here is going to pivot and charge into the rear of the trolls. Breath attack. They're going to take 2, but they do have regeneration. Oh, wait, it's 3. It's AP 1. I'm sorry. Hey, look, they regenerated all 3. I'm getting pretty good with these triple dice. Lance. 2 hits. 6s. 2 fails. Regen. Failed in both. Then the rest of the dragon's attacks on a 3. Save on a 5. Ah, as I missed with half of the dice. They failed them all. Regen. So they take another 5. That means they've lost 7. Morale test for the regiment. They're going to be good. So that'll be 1, 4, 5, 6, 7. This unit here in the middle, they are close enough. They are going to crash through into the flank of the Eternal Guardians. 18 attacks. Saving on a 6. So 9 go through. Morale, they are gone. So 9 wounds put them definitely below half. So they are out of here. Our archers there in the middle, again, are going to fire at the pink boys there. Hitting on a 3. Saving on a 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 go down. And that is going to be enough for all 3 stands. The Vortex Beasts over here are going to pivot and charge into that dragon. I've been knocking around enough. That should have been a legal pivot. So 18 attacks from them, all hitting on a 4. And the dragon's a tough guy. He saves on a 3. So he takes 3 total. Now dragon's attacks, the lance. 1 hit, saving on a 5, fail. 10 hits, hitting on a 3. Saving on a 5. Ooh, only 1 wound. So that means the Vortex Beasts won combat. Oh, the dragon don't care. Oh yes, I forgot. Because this squad disappeared, we need another army morale test. Oh, is that on screen? And the Havoc army decides to break and run. So in the end, even with all the added troops, the Havoc army was not able to pull off their fiery plan. I want to thank everybody for sticking around this long and for watching my interpretation of how 10mm battles should go in Age of Fantasy regiments. And I also want to personally thank every single one of you guys that are sending in battle reports to the Discord or through my email. I'm going to put up some pictures of that right now. All of these battles do affect the campaign. Little things moving in the background. Forces that our 2 Warmasters haven't run into yet might just pop up, and it might be one of your guys' armies. As you can see in some of these pictures, that yes, even if you play on Tabletop Simulator, that is going to count in the campaign. So that will close the chapter for this week of the campaign. To open a new chapter, which is going to be chapter number 4, this will be your mission for the week. You can play it with any of the 1-page rule systems. Doesn't have to be 10mm, 15mm. It could be 32mm. You can play it in Firefight. You can play it in Skirmish. You could even play it in Grim Dark Future. Just send me some pictures of your battles. That way I can track what else is going on. And also, because the human army has decided to turtle up for a little while on the campaign map, they might run into a little problem. That might have something to do with the mission you guys are getting this week. So that will do it for me out here in the garage. Once again, I am Warbossfitz. Thanks for stopping by. Make sure you like and subscribe. Leave a comment. Join our campaign. Join the Discord channel. Email me some pictures of your fights. I just love to see what you guys are doing. So until next week, I hope you guys are having fun out there. Remember, don't take it too seriously. It's just a game. And I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.